I think that you are literally entering the most magical time of your life, my gorgeous Aquarius, indeed. And I am keep on saying this, I know, but because you have been through so much over the last couple of years, and because so many things were kind of happening so much right towards the end of 2022, especially towards the end of the actual year, 2022, literally, there was so much that was actually happening and unfolding in your life. Of course, now we are still like pretty much so right at the beginning of 2023, and that in itself is still the beginning of whole new stage where we are all still a kind of dealing with the little bits and pieces when it comes to karma that was kind of left behind. The reason why am I starting this reading with this, my gorgeous Aquamarini, this reading is in between the 23rd and the 29th of January 2023. I'm telling you that you are entering probably the most magical time of your life. Why? Because right from the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you are going to see something. Something is going to inspire you so much. Something what you're gonna see, it's instantly going to make you feel ridiculously optimistic about your life and about your future and about so many things which are coming into your life. So this is what you're going to become aware of at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini. It's going to make you aware of one of the most powerful potentials of your life. You are going to become aware of this mind-blowing potential with things that you are going to see. You are going to be inspired like never before, and you are going to realize boundless potential. This in itself is such an important stage of your life because you are going to feel an optimism, happiness, and excitedness you haven't felt in absolute ages, but at the same time it's you just suddenly becoming so happy about your future, so optimistic about your future, and also things that you have been worrying about and that were making you feel so negative and so dark and so down because you've been through so much over the last couple of years. And I'm telling you, everything is fresh in your life because the very much so the last bits and pieces were unfolding very, very intensely right at around the end of December 2022. So everything is, of course, really, really fresh, you know, when it comes to these energies that are still kind of reminding you that it hasn't been that long. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't really matter. This potential, what you're going to become aware of, it's going to inspire you like never before. This is going to be a mind-blowing potential, and that at the same time, you know, you are really going to kind of be so happy, but you are going to be reminded of all the pain and distress that you've actually been through. You're going to be reminded by mental anguish, you know, that you've been through over the last 2 or 3 years, and that in itself, it's really kind of going to make you aware of, do you know what, now it's time, my gorgeous Aquamarini, to make such an important move, such an important step where you are at the same time about to start a transformation. This in itself means, my gorgeous Aquamarini, that the transformation of your life, it's about to start. And at the same time, this means that someone, it's like, you know, you are also going to hear a very interesting news about someone in your life. Everything that you were aware of before, but now this interesting news that you are going to hear about someone in your life, it's really going to help you to come to an end with something, to come to terms with something, because it's more about the confirmation that is really going to make you aware of you, the importance of you removing yourself from someone, the importance of you from moving on from someone, and the importance of you from maybe cutting someone out of your life. I know this sounds really sharp and this sounds really horrible, but then again, at the end of the day, with the information that you're going to have, it's going to confirm some kind of fears that you've had about someone. But then again, it's going to work out like really good for you. Almost like half of you is going to be like, oh, for goodness sake. But then another half of you is going to be like, thank God, because organically, naturally, something is actually going to unfold itself by itself. Something is going to come to an end by itself. So you are actually going to be really, really grateful about this as well. And it couldn't have happened at a better time, because you will realize that someone around you, certain person, specific person, was clouding your mind for way too long. So these are the last bits and pieces of that energy that you're actually going to deal with. After this moment, there is so much that is going to be speeded up in your life, because you will see what you couldn't see before. You're going to start seeing things in a very crisp way, opposed to a clouded way, which means that somebody started to have like a power over you, maybe in a negative way, where you got certain things from that person or through that person, but then what that person was getting from you and taking out of you in terms of energy, it doesn't make sense whatsoever. So someone was like kind of stealing and taking your energy for way too long. So this is going to be highlighted here, my gorgeous aquamarini. So it's to do with you dealing with the person who already karmically has come to an end, but you are just at the moment dealing with the little bits and pieces that just comes, at the end. Every single process in our lives take a specific time, especially when it's come to do with our emotions and feelings and things like that. That certain amount of time need to kind of pass in order to kind of sometimes realize what is behind the specific mask, when it comes to someone, so this is something you need to be aware of. But at the same time, my gorgeous aquamarine, it's like, I'm just going to go back to that. Please don't get me wrong, this is not sad and it's not horrible. That particular person, I'm telling you, you're gonna find this, oh thank God, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to waste my energy, I don't have to waste my time. And you're gonna realize that someone was just like way too toxic energy in your life, and then without realizing, sometimes we are not ourselves anymore, and we don't see the potential where we should see potential, we don't see the opportunity where we should see the opportunity, because everything becomes kind of clouded, because we kind of find ourselves around toxic people. And this is why it's so important to sometimes like kind of deal with it immediately, if we possibly can, as soon as we become aware of it. And that way we protect ourselves and we protect those precious people in our lives as well. So going back to this mind-blowing potential that you're going to have, this in itself is so important. Why? Because this is directly connected to your life purpose, to your spiritual journey, to your soul purpose, to your life purpose, to your soul purpose. Call it however you like. So I'm bouncing back to that boundless potential that you're going to be, that huge potential you're going to become aware of. This is going to mean to you so much, and it's going to elevate you to the point where you are going to start the process of healing within yourself. And that in itself, it's also like kind of, as I said before, going to start the process of transformation, but you need to be very, very strong here. And there is someone, very kind of like a powerful in your life, through who you're not going to have a conversation with this person, but somebody who is very consistent in your life. Again, it's going to play a very significant role here, because through that person, you're not going to talk about this, you're not going to have a conversation, but through that person, somehow you're going to understand what you need to do. Okay, so it's to do with specific people in our lives who really understands us really well, but it's also to do with the certain people in our life that means to us so much as well. So it's like someone who you kind of like maybe in a certain way look up to, but then someone who is extremely open-minded and someone who is extremely psychic. That person is going to be on your mind, and through that particular person you are going to gain some kind of a clarity when it comes to you doing something really, really wise, in terms of you understanding that at this stage in your life you need to be smart leader. And that in itself, it's really going to kind of make your mind a really, really strong, because it's more about the confirmation through someone who means to you so much, someone so beautiful and someone so genuine. But at the same time, you are also going to understand through that person that there is something else that you need to find out. It's about a certain truth, okay, that you need to look into it a bit more, a bit further. And this particular truth like this is to do with like a people in your life, not to do with like this potential or anything like that. This truth that you're going to realize this, it's about someone that you're going to need to kind of look up into it a little bit more. This is what is actually going to come through your own understanding. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, at the beginning of this week, you are going to have a very, very unusual dream, very strange dream you are going to have at the beginning of this week, and you may not even remember that dream whatsoever. But what you are going to remember is, especially when it comes to 23rd, 24th, 25th, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And these are the days that you need to pay attention to. As soon as you open your eyes, there is something very unusual going to be on your mind. And this is the way that dream is going to come through. You're not going to necessarily remember this dream, but what you're going to remember as soon as you open your mind, open your eyes, open your mind, as soon as you open your eyes, you are going to have some kind of like a, maybe something that you're going to become so adamant about, something completely out of the blue. I need to do this. And what you're going to become really adamant about, it's also to do with you finishing something, some kind of unfinished business. You're going to suddenly become so adamant about like finishing some kind of unfinished business. This is coming from somewhere different. We sleep, we have astral projections, we benefit from all these multiple dimensions that we go through. We are indeed, at the end of the day, we are multi-dimensional beings. So we get information and these special vibrations from all over the place, as long as we know how to kind of reflect on it. So this is something you need to pay attention to, like this guidance that you are going to have within the first 3 days, because some kind of unfinished business, it's going to be highlighted, and you're not going to be able to move on with your life until you actually make sure that this comes to an end. This is so important, but trust me, you will know what this is, because you are going to become adamant completely out of the blue to do this. And you know what? That's exactly what you should be doing, because karmically, you're not going to be able to move on until that comes to an end, because as soon as that unfinished business comes to an end, you need to deal with this. There is something very specific that you're going to understand and realize about life in general, but most importantly about yourself. Some kind of amazing realization. You're going to realize that you are way more powerful than you could have possibly imagined, but also you are going to realize like a really, really interesting idea here as well, which is going to be direct result of everything what was happening in your life so far, especially within the last few months indeed. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, what else I was going to say, that at the beginning of this week, this is brilliant. I like this so much. The justice is coming, justice is coming, your 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 justice is, my gorgeous Aquamarini, your justice is coming. This is so important because it's to do with you knowing and being fully aware of some wrongdoings in your life, and especially something to do with the money, and especially something to do with the finances. Someone has done something to you. It's to do with some kind of wrongdoing. So this in itself, it's about to resolve itself. A very good news. And this in itself, it's a lot to do with the actual justice, and that it's all about, one hand, something being proven to you about someone being really dishonest, and it's to do with the finances. And then at the same time, this is going to be brilliant because some kind of like a very, very serious matter, it's about to be resolved, and the outcome, it's going to be really, really good, and it's going to work in your favor. I can tell you, my gorgeous Aquamarini, that you're not going to lose nothing in this situation. You're only going to gain more than you can possibly imagine. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's like basically about this specific person in your life. This specific person in your life, it's really going to play such a giant and a very powerful role. This is like maybe like a family member. This is probably, it's like either a family member, but it's somebody like a really wise and somebody really older. There you go. This is how I see this person. Someone really gorgeous, someone really beautiful, someone really wise, and a little bit bit older. That person is going to really have an interesting conversation with you at around the midweek, and conversation is going to start being about, oh, the weather is really nice, so I've done this yesterday, I've done that yesterday, just about silly little things. And then suddenly the conversation is going to turn out to be extremely ridiculously serious. And when this conversation becomes really serious, there are so many different bits and pieces that you're going to be talking about. What's happening on the outside? What did you hear? What did that person hear? But at the same time, that person is going to remind you of something. That person is really going to remind you of something, you know. And what you're going to be reminded of, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's like a basically, you know, like you really wanting to do something for such a long time, and you've been talking about something for such a long time, but nothing was happening, you know, nothing is happening. And that particular person who knows you really well, it's going to be brutally honest with you, and it's going to point something out, something that you mentioned a while back, and it means to you so much, but you didn't do anything about it. But this is important for you to understand, because it is an integral part of your spiritual journey. So it's something that you mentioned to this person quite a few times, but you didn't do anything about it. But that other person knows that you're going to do really well, that you're going to be really great. But because you had somebody around you who was clouding your mind for so long, this was also affected by it, okay? So please do kind of like pay attention to this, because also at the same time, it's you kind of like really kind of putting your point across within a group of people. You are going to need to put your foot down, and you are going to need to put your point across within within a group of people, because you know there was a problem that was affecting like maybe like a few different family members, but you are the only one who knows what to do and how to deal with it. You have a strength, you have a power, but you also have some kind of necessary or knowledge to deal with a certain people in a specific situations that other people who are your family members or your great friends wouldn't know how to do. So only you can do this, because you're very, very special. You've got your own way dealing with people, you know. So this is something that you need to understand, because that person who is connected to you, like a family member, someone like that, it's like going to remind you of, like, you know what I mean? Like, you say that you're going to talk to these people, and it's like you kind of resolving like a certain problem, and you're just going to be reminded of this. You know, this is important, because this in itself was also like kind of driving you up the wall for way too long, because I suppose you have to express yourself in a certain way within a certain group of people that it's making you feel kind of uneasy. But then again, you've got everything you need to have in order to do this. So it's almost like if you don't kind of do this, this is going to be affecting your life, because you still can't move on. You're not going to realize at that stage just yet, but you can't do what you want to do because of this. I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds absolutely confusing, but when you become aware of this problem, you're going to, like a family matter or something like that, you are going to need to step through, you are going to need to step forward, because without you even realizing, this has been affecting your life in such a way where you haven't been expressing yourself the way you could have expressed yourself so many different times over the last 2 or 3 years. You know, sometimes, you know, we do need to be reminded, you know, of specific things in our lives as well. You know, it's really, really important. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, by the time you get to the last part of this week, you know, now you are going to have such an unusual and really strange and really bizarre sign. At around the end of the week, you are going to have a very strange sign. And the strange sign that you are going to have, you're either going to be in the nature, you're either going to be within the nature, you're either going to be looking at the nature, or you're either going to be walking next to the nature. Somehow this sign is going to come through the nature. So there is something at around the time when you're around the nature, whether you believe this or not, you better believe this sign that you are going to have, it's going to be oh my God, something like from a different world. Like you will know, you will be fully aware of your own power, especially when it comes to you being psychic, and especially when it comes to you being an empath, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to notice this whatsoever. This is going to be like a godly sign that you are going to have something so sacred. It's going to feel at around that sign. And you know what is going to be even more interesting? What is actually going to be on your mind when you become aware of that like godly sign from a different world? Like literally, this is only going to highlight how unique you are to even notice this, let alone the fact what is actually going to be on your mind when you see this, because something will be driving you nuts, something will be driving you crazy, like in terms of you will try to make a decision, you will try to decide something, you will try to decide something. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I need an advice, I need this, I need that. You're gonna try to decide something, and then suddenly you see this sign. And when you see this sign, it's like you are really gonna be able to incorporate this with what you were thinking through the power of synchronicity. It's like, oh, I can't believe I'm having this sign and this was on my mind. I cannot believe this. Not only this is going to answer your question of what to go for when it comes to you feeling so indecisive, but at the same time that it's going to make you aware of the fact that now it's time to manifest some kind of a goal, to make it to become your reality. Now it's time to manifest the specific goal to become your reality. This is all that specific goal. It's going to come out from that particular decision that you're going to make from being undecisive at the time when you get this like kind of answer, which is going to blow you away in every possible way, my gorgeous Aquamarini. Indeed, not only you will know what to go for, what to decide, but at the same time that this is going to show you exactly that now it's time to manifest the specific goal to become reality. You need to put this as a number one, because this is going to bring you amazing accomplishment, mind-blowing recognition. You're going to recognize something so mind-blowing about yourself, but you're also going to be recognized by the right people the way you were never ever recognized before, in terms of your success, in terms of your accomplishment, in terms of your confidence, in terms of your power. You're so powerful. Now you're going to be able to do what you always wanted to do. And on top of that, you know, this is like a highly victorious time of your life. This is bringing you hope. This is bringing you an inspiration. This is bringing you a brand new balance alongside the bright new prospects. You are probably making one of the wisest choices of your life, my gorgeous Aquamarini. What's happening right now, it's also bringing you very special people into your life, and one of them is gonna be more special than you can possibly imagine. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards, and I'm going to see what your oracle card is going to be. So your oracle card, my gorgeous Aquamarini, what your oracle card is going to reveal when it comes to the weekend between the 23rd and the 29th of January. Oh my goodness, you see this confidence. Your confidence is about to return. I'm not saying you were missing your confidence. I'm not saying you didn't have confidence. You're probably one of the most confident signs out there. Anyway, I'm not saying that you actually missed your confidence, but you will see exactly who was primarily responsible for you not having confidence for way too long. Your confidence is your power. You know, your power is you. If you don't have your power, you know, you are going to be affected. Your manifestation is going to be affected, and you're going to find yourself being in a little limbo and not realizing and recognizing, you know, how many things are around you on daily basis and that are so important to you when it comes to your spiritual journey. So this is how everything is, of course, in our lives are literally connected. This is going to be the week week when you're going to realize, you know, the confidence is about to return into your life. And that in itself, it's going to really open your eyes, but it's also going to put you back in the mode where you're going to start becoming so excited about your spiritual journey, so excited about yourself, but most importantly, you're going to become so excited about what's to come. One of the things that are going to be sticking out like there is no tomorrow. There is something that is going to be making you more confident than you've ever been confident, and this is something you should follow and also make the necessary adjustments, because that in itself, it's also going to show you the way, which way to go, what to do, and most importantly, priorities are about to change. So what makes you the most confident, that's exactly what you should be putting as a priority number one this week. Okay, my gorgeous Aquamarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.